All right, so we're here with Angry Asks, episode 3, with Alex Martin, professional regional snowboarder. Alex, who do you ride for?
Ride for Niche and Candy Grind and the Lumberyard.
All right, in Breckenridge. John Brossman's store.
John Brossman.
John Brossman. Shop Lumberyard.
Shop Lumberyard.
So we're going to get right to the chase. Trick of the year. Miller flip front board at Keystone. What the hell was going through your mind when you did it?
They set it up, and the second they set it up, it popped into my head. I maybe waited 2 weeks after they set it up, and it was Keystone's closing weekend, so it had to happen. I shotgunned a beer, said, screw it, let's do it.
That's it.
That's really what happened.
How many tries?
2 days.
Took you 2 days to get that.
2 full days.
2 full days.
To get a good one. I maybe landed it 6 times. None of them were good enough for me. Even the one that people have seen is still not good.
Well, I know. The board slide was a little soggy.
Came back to regular.
Yeah, but you brought it back to regular.
Struggle.
But you brought it back to regular rather than going out to switch. So
Yes.
No one can take that away from you. How many people lost their shit when they saw that?
Online, a lot of people. But what really stoked me out the most was seeing the people react on the chairlift. For the 2 full days, it was 4 hours of filming, 2 days in a row, trying to get one trick, and every single person, every single time on the chairlift was freaking out. And I think that's what really made me want to do it.
Well, you got it. Z Griff and I, we give you Trick of the Year on the A to Z Shredcast. So I know you don't listen to that, so it's okay.
I haven't yet.
It's
I
okay.
will now.
Well, you're going on a road trip, so you got time to listen to it.
True.
It's all good. All right. So now the bigger question: did you break your board when you did it?
For once in my life, I did not.
Really?
That I know of. I haven't really done much snowboarding after that.
Just like land that trick, done for the season.
I landed the trick, drank a beer, went home.
Probably the smartest thing you've done in a while.
No, I didn't break this snowboard I'm on right now on that trick.
Which is that model right there, right?
No, I'm actually on the
theme.
The 56 theme.
Oh. Well, I don't have that in the background here for those that are watching on the YouTube, so it's okay. It's okay, I can put that
It's a
back.
great board. It's a great board. Don't worry.
Yeah. So let's go into your relationship with Niche. How is it?
Fantastic. They treated me really well this year. I destroyed 8 snowboards this year. On my 9th, which is still living, surprisingly. Yeah, they treat me really well, like better than I could have ever wanted a company to treat me. So.
Well, it's funny because you went from Forum to nothing to Niche.
To Niche, yes.
So you had that big gap in between where you really didn't have a board hookup.
No, I just broke a bunch of forums that I still had.
Yeah. It's okay. So, the big thing would be with, obviously, Forum's no longer with us anymore, and Niche is still kind of a newer brand. What can you say about the difference between riding for Forum and riding for Niche?
No one will ever top Forum. Not board-wise, not anything like that. Just the people that created and were Forum. No one will ever recreate that. But Niche as a company, with their eco-friendliness, their super light snowboards, like everything about them is awesome. I much rather would ride a Niche snowboard right now than a Forum.
Well,
which is a hell of a statement.
It is. And you've ridden the boards from Niche from 3 different factories, I believe.
Yeah.
Because you've ridden with them when they were at GST, then they went to GP87, and now they're at Capita.
Yep.
Out of those 3, which factory do you think is making the best boards?
I would say the brand new.
The stuff coming out of Capita.
Yeah, that one.
So all the stuff coming out of Capita, which I would agree because I've ridden that myself as well. So just everyone that out there, the boards have actually gotten better, and I'm not just saying that. Alex rides at a level I will never ride at.
I've broken them all, and I will say that the new ones are really, really progressive. They have progressed
Substantially, yeah, actually. I noticed they're a lot snappier, and they seem to be even lighter.
They are even lighter, yeah.
Even lighter.
Which I didn't think would happen.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
stronger. So
Yeah.
for all those people that complain about board weight, this might be a brand that they need to look at.
They are stronger.
They are.
Unless you're me.
Well,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Well, I'm going to put the video of you doing the Miller flip to the front board up here on the green screen. So people will actually be able to see what you did to that. And it didn't break. So
Didn't break on that one.
Yeah, so that's good. I mean, I was with you the one day when you broke one at Copper on the quarter pipe.
Yeah.
Which was like the
That
stupid...
was, 5 days old?
Yeah, but you also broke it the most retarded way I've ever seen. Like, you hooked your nose coming back in on an air to fakie, and it just snapped.
It was my fault, not the snow.
That was your fault, 100%. So there you have it. Now, the candy grind thing's a new thing for you.
Yeah, I met the guys at Snowboard on the Block.
Yeah.
When I was going into that competition, which was the most ridiculous thing I've ever done.
Well, yeah, because we did that previous interview last summer.
Yeah, and it was my fourth day on
Third.
Third day.
Third day. We filmed for a day.
We filmed the first day.
Yeah.
Second day I went out, and then third day I won the competition at Copper.
Yeah,
and
so
then,
we filmed.
Yeah, so Snowboard on the Block was my fourth
Day back.
which wasn't real snow and not snowboarding, but I broke a board there. First freaking practice.
It was also the sketchiest setup around.
It was the gnarliest thing I've ever done. Yeah, so I met the guys. I was walking to the bathroom, actually, because they were feeding me beer, because I didn't want to go ride this.
False courage, right?
Yeah. So, my, third trip to the bathroom, I finally stopped at the Candy Grind tent, started talking to the guys, and I'd skated with a couple of them. I'd known them a little bit. Not really at all.
Right.
I kind of just started talking to him and asked him if they needed any riders, and he was like, yeah, we actually do. And right after the competition, my shirt was destroyed. I walked over there, and they handed me a brand new shirt, which was the best thing ever, because we went out drinking that night, and I did not want to go soaking wet, so it was good. And no, they've treated me well. Anything you could ever ask for, I get. Anytime I want it, I get it.
That's what she said.
For the most part. No, I mean, they're great dudes. Really haven't got a chance to meet all of them yet, but they are really good dudes.
Well, that's cool.
And then Lumberyard.
Which, I mean, is the best shop in the county.
It's great.
I mean, John holds it down, and he's got all of our... I'm unofficially sponsored. It's great.
I know, right?
So anyone that's coming ever to Breckenridge or that's listening to this, always shop at the Lumberyard. Let them know Alex and Averin sent you. Because...
And Z-Griff.
And just about anyone that works with me on Angry or has done an interview, you can just say that they sent you to Lumberyard. I think it's like a rite of passage if you Alex and I know each other, but anyone that comes in to interview me or any of my friends that come through, it's like a rite of passage. I take them to Lumberyard and they end up spending copious amounts of money. So
yes,
and that's a good thing because you're supporting the snowboard industry and that shop supports us.
Yes.
Now let's talk about recovering from knee injuries, because it sucks. Last year, you blew your knee, got it replaced. This year, you blew your knee again.
Mm-hmm.
What goes through your mind after the second time of blowing your knee?
So the first time I hit the ground and I denied it. I was like, no, I'm fine. Second time I hit the ground and I went home. And I knew exactly what happened. I still technically have an ACL. It just stretched.
Great, because it's replaced with your hamstring.
Yeah, which is not a fun recovery. Don't do your hamstring. It's not fun.
Okay, you're saying a cadaver would be a better knee replacement?
It's a lot nicer to your body. But yeah, I tried to nollie the stair set at Keystone.
How big was that stair set?
I think it was 37 feet to knuckle.
Why?
I think Mikey told me something like that. Because I drank a couple beers and someone convinced me to do it. It was like second to last run of the day. I just front boarded that down flat down donkey down it, and I was like, I'm gonna nollie the stair set. I came up 3 stairs and a knuckle short. Hit, bounced, flipped, hit the ground, stood up, knew exactly what happened, got on the chairlift, grabbed my backpack, and went home. Other than that, I mean, I bought a really awesome brace from getabrace.com.
Yeah, which is your dad's website.
Check it out.
You should check it out, and he should sponsor the website.
He should sponsor everything, yes.
He should sponsor the website, but that's okay. Actually, though, for those that do need knee braces, this is the website to get knee braces from.
And there's actually a picture of me from, I was 16?
Right, 6 years ago?
Right?
5 years ago?
Right after I got sponsored by Forum. And it's me doing a backflip in like a plaid one-piece jumpsuit, looking like an idiot. And that's.
Are you saying I should give your dad some photos?
Probably not. He would never change that.
He likes to embarrass you, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, so now you've got this high-end brace. What brace is it?
I don't even know how to pronounce it. Some German.
It's like
Bein Fjorn or something like that. Like some crazy. Couldn't even tell you how to pronounce it, but it's awesome. It massages my legs while I wear it. And yeah, I'm just using that as my ACL instead of getting surgery.
But how's that going?
So far, so good. It works really well when I wear it.
Still hitting jumps though and everything?
Yeah. I did Breck's closing weekend and actually hit 4, 5, and 6 at the bottom and felt great. Ziegler filmed a line that I've never seen.
He does that. There's supposed footage of me somewhere too. Who knows what he's doing? He just turns the camera on and then you just suddenly discover that you're in an edit. Like one day you're like, oh fuck, I'm on the hill with Z Griff.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
No, it works really well when I wear it. It does not feel very good when I'm not wearing it. Like
little bone on bone
well,
going.
Just last night, like I put my leg up on the couch and like hyperextended, and I was like, I'm just trying to hang out on my couch. Like I'm not even doing anything cool. So
you're getting too gnarly for your own
getting
good.
old.
Try.
I'm getting old.
How old are you?
23. I'll be 24 in July, so almost 24.
I'm 34.
I'm old.
I still ride 170 days a year. You got this. You ride at a level I wish I could.
God, I got like 230 this year.
230 days?
God.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Jesus, you didn't take a day off.
I didn't take a day off. That's why I blew my knee out again.
Well, no, you tried to nollie a stair set.
Yeah, yes.
If we're going to be honest with you, but the whole knee brace thing, like obviously I use one, everyone's getting older, so it's getabrace.com?
Yes.
Yeah, getabrace.com, check it out. You can tell them Alex sent you.
Sure, I think I have a promo code somewhere. I don't know how to work it, but
the internet's not your friend.
No, I'm not.
But going into the whole internet side of things, being a professional regional rider, as we would call it, what do you feel now in snowboarding with the whole Instagram and having followers versus when you were 16 and sponsored? I mean, how is it different now versus then?
I competed more when I was 16, and I had more fun when I was 16. So, gentlemen's meeting, what you originally invented,
yes,
me and Kelly Johnson took to a different level and actually did. And it changed my whole thought process about snowboarding, which brought me back to where I was when I was 16. It was, I didn't have a license until I was 17. I wasn't allowed to have a license until I was 17. And so
okay,
I mean, like,
I didn't get one until I was 17 either.
I mean,
that was probably safer for the world that way.
My parents would drop me off at the hill after school. 347 vertical feet or whatever it is. And we would go...
Mount Holly?
Alpine Valley, actually.
Alpine Valley, okay.
And,
Michigan.
Yes. In White Lake, which is awful. Don't go there. And they would drop me off, and we would lap the rope tow all day. And that was, like, real snowboarding. Like, it wasn't... I never saw Powder Day until I moved here, which then changed my real snowboarding thoughts. But it was the fundamentals of me learning, and I actually started coaching then, before I was even a coach now. You know, I didn't know I'd ever be a coach. I never thought I'd ever be a role model. I never thought I'd be a coached anybody.
Yeah, I never thought I'd be a role model either, and then it happened, and then I had to realize that little kids looked up to me, and then I was like, God, your parents are failing miserably.
So that aspect of snowboarding kind of left me for, 3 years? My first 3 years out here, from 19 to 22-ish.
Yeah.
I worked my butt off. I tried to win competitions, I tried to film, I tried to do things, and I tried to be a snowboarder.
Right.
Which in turn made me not a snowboarder. So the last couple years, or the last season, I guess, last season doesn't count. I blew my knee
Well, you were out. Yeah, you were out from January.
But this season, we made it a point to have fun.
Yeah.
And so when I look at it from 16 to now, I'm now having as much fun as I was.
Peaks and valleys, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And just so everyone that's listening or watching this on YouTube understands, the Gentlemen's Club was something I conceived for my birthday, where we get all the guys together, because we don't all get to ride together. We all get together, and then we get tacos afterwards. Women are welcome, like Melissa Rotano. She's one of the guys.
She's welcome anytime.
Anytime. And we just go out, and for a while there, it was like nonstop POW days, and then...
we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, and that was the whole point. It was just go out and get stupid. You know, we'd go out, like Dylan would be with us, and Dylan would be, I'm going to backflip into this mogul field, and I'd be like, I'm going to hand plant off this lip. You know, we would just get stupid. And that's part of it, is like, obviously you've gone through that transition from like, well, I'm going to try for this, and then I'm going to go for this, and now it's just about having fun. But the bigger part with that question, where I was going, is how different is it, exposure-wise, I should say, for you, like with the Instagram thing and what sponsors want now versus then before? Because obviously the internet's changed everything, and it's how you get your recognition. I mean, doing this show is probably going to open you up to a broader audience that would never know who you were, in all honesty.
No one knows who I am. I like it that way.
It's okay. I try to plug you where I can.
That's okay.
Well, you can check his Instagram. I'll put it underneath him over there, over there somewhere.
No, I mean, I didn't have an Instagram until I was 20 years old and living in Breckenridge. Obviously. And Facebook and all the videos, like, I didn't do any. I mean, like, I maybe put out 3 little edits for Forum in the 4 years that I rode for them. And they were like, 60 seconds in the park with Alex. And it was horrible snowboarding. I mean, you can still find this on YouTube. It's still a thing. Awful.
I'm going to put a link in there.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. But it was more like I won competitions.
Right.
And so that was the only exposure I had. No one knew, outside of Alpine and Mount Brighton and all the places I went to compete at, no one knew who I was. No one would ever know. You know, whereas now you can see what this 12-year-old kid's doing in New Zealand, or, you know, what I'm doing here in Breckenridge or something like that. That's
right. Well, how many views did you get on the Miller flip to front board video? Do you know?
On my Instagram, I think like 500, something like that. But on Check the Feed, it was like 20,000.
Yeah, right.
Like something ridiculous.
Because Johnny Handcheck put that up for you, because he's the TM for Niche.
For Niche, yeah.
So you got 20,000 on that.
It was something like that, yeah.
Well, it's kind of like we did that interview video last summer, and I think that got 1,000 views or something. I can't remember. I don't know. There's stuff that you and I've done that goes.
I'm not good with technology, so I don't know. I give my stuff to other people.
Yeah, you're like, here,
check this out.
Go do this. Yeah, no, that's true, actually. But yeah, I mean, so obviously it gives you some exposure, and I think your sponsors are stoked on that, right?
I mean, I think that's the only thing they're stoked on, because there's the High Standard was the only competition this year in Colorado. I did that.
Yeah.
But Jake Coleman killed it. Just kidding that.
Well, yeah. Well,
which, I mean, was the most fun competition ever, and is a completely different aspect of, like, the rail jams that I do and all that.
Well, yeah, because you can only spin you can't spin above a 7 in the High Standard, so it's all about style.
Yeah.
So, and that's the big thing. Like, you and I've worked on that when we go out and ride. I'm like, I make you get a little weird and go outside your comfort zone. But it works, because you have the ability to do that, and so when you do that, you go and it's like, well, let's take a stock trick, but make it yours.
Weird. Yes.
Yes. Well, you have the raptor arm. Hashtag raptor arm.
Raptor claw.
Raptor claw. which is okay. One of the many arms of snowboarders. I'm a T-Rex kind of guy, but Alex is like Raptor Claw. So
yeah, it's actually been like my biggest struggle, Instagram and Facebook and all that, is trying to like hashtag and do all these things where like I just want to snowboard.
Just hashtag Donald Trump. I hear that works way better.
Man, I'm gonna do that.
Tag yourself as Donald Trump too. People seem to love that for some shit. All right. My friend told me that the other day. Also, not safe for work, NSFW, is a really good hashtag to get a lot of views as well. I discovered that one the other day too. So these are all things that you could use.
Ah, yes. I'm learning.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of this, is that you can actually learn and go there from it. But so I mean, obviously, it's one of those things where it's tough to get your name out there. I mean, the market's crowded with great riders out there. There's tons of them. It's like, who's going to step out and be the next big thing, or at least
do something ridiculous?
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I think being a regional pro is better than being a super pro, because you get all the same stuff, but the standards on you are just so much better. And it's better to be well known in one little area where you can influence that whole little core and that scene, versus being a guy that maybe they know your name, but you're not influencing as many people. I mean, that's the way I've always looked at it. It's like, you might sell a few niche boards from riding it. No offense to this. I write a review and it's good. I'm going to sell a couple hundred.
Right, yeah.
It's that difference of thing. And I think that's, we still need riders like you to do that, but I think it's broaching that gap where you're more approachable to talk to people when you're on the chairlift and explain to them, and they get stoked on what you're doing and stuff like that. And being a coach as well. You get to work with little kids. And
being a coach is cool because you get to talk to other coaches, and they're like, oh, okay. I think that's the cool part about coaching. But
I thought that was just you guys jerking each other off.
It's really just a lot of sunflower seeds and standing at the top of competitions.
Freezing.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Yes.
I think there was not one single sunny day this year.
Not for any contest.
Not.
How do you make it snow in Colorado? You have a contest. Always have a contest. If you put on a contest, it's without fail, it's going to snow in the state of Colorado.
So next year, we're just going to have rail jams every day in my backyard?
Every day. Angry Snowboarder will sponsor them.
Yes.
I will give away prizes of like binding screws, half-eaten bags of Doritos, maybe a PBR tall boy from the liquor store.
Maybe a half-drank PBR tall boy from the...
I'm not drinking it.
I'm not drinking it.
I'll spill it on the floor. What are you doing? Alex, what are you doing? Wait, where did that come from? Well, you are over 21, so I don't care. All right, so let's talk about coaching. How many kids do you coach?
God, this year, Josh and I split a group of 12.
And that's Josh Underwood.
Yes, Josh Underwood.
Nicest guy in snowboarding.
Coach of the year.
Coach of the year.
He did win Coach of the Year this year, too.
Yes, but he's also the nicest guy in snowboarding.
He is.
So you had, how many?
12.
12.
So really, it was like...
6 and 6?
No, it was really like he took 8 and I took 4. Or I took 8 and he took 4. Or 90% of the time he had like 9 and I had like Henry.
Do you teach the kids how to zeech?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't know how to zeech.
That's a lie. I've got footage. I've got photos.
It's true.
It's incriminating evidence.
It's true. No, I mean, it was a great year this year. We had, I think out of our whole team, like the snowboard side, we had 12 kids on the podium at Nationals.
That's USA Nationals.
Yeah.
Just so everyone knows.
Yeah. It was a great year. Fantastic.
Yeah. Honestly. So honestly, like anyone that's looking into a coaching program, Team Summit, which is who Alex works with, I would actually strongly recommend that if you're trying to get your kids out to just snowboard more, because they, from what I've seen with you guys, because I always end up throwing snowballs at your kids and spraying them because I'm a dick. And but they're actually good kids and everything, and I think it's a good program that they've got going on. It's one that I would recommend because, one, Alex can actually break down tricks, and he's a solid rider. Same thing with Josh and everything like that. Mandy, on the other hand, Josh's wife.
Mandy got good this year. She got good.
No, she didn't.
She got better.
I watched her fall a lot. I sprayed her.
I
love Mandy. Right. I love Mandy.
She did great.
Mandy's one of the nicest people, too, in snowboarding.
I mean, we offer scholarships for kids that can't, parents that aren't bazillionaires. There's a lot of them up here. It's tough to live up here. And it really is. I have a lot of kids that come up from Denver, We just have fun.
That's true. Well, no, I mean, I've seen it. You know, you guys will be out there and it's a powder day and you're making them go ride powder, which will actually make them a stronger rider in the long run. But they look like they're having fun until I spray them.
Until they tomahawk 17 times.
And then I spray them.
Fantastic, yes.
I
spray them after.
And then you spray them. It's great.
Yes.
It's okay. Oh, speaking of spraying, did you spray Sean White this year?
Yes, at Copper, early season.
With me.
Yes.
It was great.
So what is that? 4 years in a row?
4 years in a row.
4 years in a row.
Who the hell rides powder with a stance that's like this fucking wide?
I don't know.
Sean White, I swear to God, you could fit a family of 12 between his legs. His stance is so wide.
Makes my knees hurt just looking at it.
Yes, right? But spraying Sean White 4 years in a row.
4 years in a row.
Never gets old.
Yes. My first spray was... he was at the top of freeway. And he was learning his triple corks when they put his airbag down there for his lonesome training course.
Yeah.
And I came over the knuckle and I sprayed him with probably like 30 pounds of just slush crap and just blasted him. And he goes, "What?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And then I looked up and because I didn't even know it was him at first. I looked up and I saw it was him and I was like, "Man, I wish I would have sprayed you harder." And I rode away. And he did like 2.5 flips to his face on his next attempt. And I was on the chairlift, and I've never laughed so hard in my life.
I always laugh hard at him when he falls on his face.
It was good.
Sean's kind of a dick.
It was good. He is a dick.
But it's okay. So that was the first spray. What about the second spray?
I think the second and third were with my kids coaching.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Because I was there. Because it was you. Was it Kevin or was it? No, it was Dylan. It was you.
Yeah,
it was
Dylan,
you, me, and Dylan at Copper. Dylan Thomas.
Yeah.
And I was like, I kept trying to figure out who this guy was with the wide stance that kept going to the half pipe, and it like didn't click to me that it was Sean actually trying to have a comeback. And I was like, who the fuck's this guy? Why does he have such a wide stance? And then you sprayed him, and then you told me it was Sean, and I was like, oh yeah. So next year, going for it'll be the 5th year in a row if you spray him.
5th year in a row.
I think you should do it at Dew Tour.
I think my second or third year, one of those two, was with my kids, and we did a line, and he was like waiting for Dew Tour or something. Like he was at the bottom, like he just did a run or something, and we came down and like
Should we
sprayed
get this
him.
on camera this year?
I mean, we probably should.
We should, because then we'll incorporate it into like an A to Z Shredcast with me and Z Griff, and we will comment on it. Either that, or Ben and I are working on a whole sock puppet thing, and that would be kind of funny to do, like a Mystery Science Theater 3000, where we just talk shit on him just getting sprayed.
But I think we did. It was at Dew Tour, and we did like a line of 5 of us. It was like me in front and like 4 kids behind me, and we all just blasted him at the bottom. He was like,
"Did he say anything?"
Oh, he never does.
He just looks takes at us. He just takes it.
He doesn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know how to have fun. I don't know.
He's never pulled the "Do you know who I am" card.
Oh, I wish he would.
I know someone up here that he pulled that card on, and they said they didn't care and took his pass away.
I would salmon his wide stance.
I don't know if it's a salmon at that point. That's like a whale. You're like in there just slap.
Yeah,
You're just like, you should get one of your kids to tripod between his legs.
Ooh.
I think like
I could.
Henry, you probably could. Henry could.
Squid probably could.
Yeah. So that would be really funny.
Squid would probably mess up and put his board in his nuts, though, and it'd be hilarious.
Yeah, but then he would apologize in that super sincere form that he always just like, "I'm sorry. Oh,
I'm so sorry.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do
so
that.
sorry.
Please don't kill me, Mr. White."
Squid, I love you.
Oh, Squid.
Oh, Squid.
Squid's one of my favorite little kids around town. I love that little guy. I love throwing things at him more than anything.
They lit a Bible on fire at that skate park.
That's Chris Cassetta's fault. just I don't even know where we're going with this podcast. Burning Bibles.
Oh my God.
This is ridiculous. It's okay. Don't worry if you're religious and you come to Breckenridge, we won't burn your Bible.
Don't worry, Squid's young.
He doesn't know.
Learn.
He'll learn eventually that that's not what you're supposed to do. Well, I mean, it's just a work of fiction anyway, so who cares? But yeah, so you got the coaching thing, so you got that gig, so you can ride. You know, you kind of have your life set up around the whole snowboarding thing right now at this point in your life. What advice would you give to someone that would be 19-year-old you wanting to move to a place like Summit County or, say, Tahoe or something like that to follow snowboarding? What would you tell them?
Do it. Go snowboard. If it doesn't work out and you have to move back to mom and dad, that's fine. But do it. Try it. I mean, I moved here at 19. I ate ramen for, God, a year and a half. I had no money, but I had the best time of my life. I mean, I've been here almost 5 years now, and it has been the best time of my life. Um, I wouldn't have changed it. I mean, there's a few things that would have changed, but
You know what? You should have changed your socks because God, I can smell your feet.
God, I know my feet, man.
They
I
smell.
too, and I didn't. I just worked all day. I didn't even do anything.
But yeah, it's okay. So, anyways, other advice Alex would give you: change your socks often.
Don't have stinky feet. That's good advice. I mean, I moved here at 19. I moved into Chad Otterstrom's house. It was like dream come true. I mean, Pat Moore was on my couch. I hung out with Chris Papas all the time. He gave me snowboards because I just kept breaking snowboards. I mean, I just highly recommend. I came here with no friends, no idea what I was doing, no idea what I was going to do in life. I still have no idea what I'm doing in life.
Well, no one knows what they're going to do in life. I'm running a podcast out of my living room. I mean, come on.
Fair enough.
You and I
It used to be my living room.
Our living room. Yeah, we used to live together. Just so everyone understands it, in Manhor Manor.
Manor Mansion.
Six guys.
No, I mean, the only advice I would give is don't waste your life doing something you don't want to do. My dad told me for 19 years until I moved out of his house. So you're never going to do anything with snowboarding. You're never going to do anything. Like, you're just going to waste your life, blah, blah, all this stuff. He hated me for not going to college. The day I got that coaching job, I called him. He's like, you're never going to make any money snowboarding. Called him. I'm like, Dad, I get paid to snowboard now. Ha ha. He's like, yeah, whatever. Now, my dad loves what I'm doing because I help kids. I help my friends because I get to coach them when I'm snowboarding because it's just natural nature now. Like, I just do it.
It's true. Alex just stands around at the top of the park and tells triple cork,
Sochi,
Sochi.
I don't really do any tricks. I just like, oh, do that better. And everyone's like, come on, Alex. Like, shut up.
He tried to tell me to do something better. My response was, I've been snowboarding longer than you've been alive.
It's true. Besides that, I mean, God, don't go sit in a cubicle. Don't go do a 9 to 5 if you don't want to go do a 9 to 5. So many of my friends from Michigan
cubicle jockeys, aren't
are
they?
just losers now. Like 4 kids deep, hating their life, not happy. And I mean, my biggest thing is I spend every day trying to make myself happy, and I do. I'm happy. I mean, how could you not be? That's all I gotta say.
Well, I think we're going to end it on that, on a happy note, because Alex killed it, and he's got 2 more days, and then he's hitting the road for a while. But you can follow him on Instagram, which I strongly recommend, and maybe I'll have him back on another episode later on, and we'll talk about some other topics. But this has been episode 3 of Angry Asks. Thanks, Alex.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
If you do follow, the next 2 weeks of my Instagram are going to be shenanigans. It's going to be 2 weeks of the most epic thing anyone's ever done.
So you can follow Alex on the Instagram. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know if you think there's some questions I should ask him in a future episode, and we'll go from there. Until next